time for Since the Last Show, the #1 news segment covering everything from the already heavily discussed to things we blatantly made up with your host, Thomas, please just let me die Bolton, and Christina, why can't anyone spell my name correctly well?
Well, I'm upset.
Why? You hate hosting SLS with me that much?
Yes.
Damn.
But that's not just why I'm upset. I just found out there's a Manly Maids imposter on campus.
Who dares?
On Halloween, some man was walking around in a maid outfit, tarnishing our good name, according to Yik Yak.
That's despicable!
I know!
We should sue!
Can we?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Moving on to a happier note.
The beloved Italian ice parlor Rita's has officially closed for the season.
What? How could they do this to me? How could they do this to me? Where am I supposed to go for my Friday afternoon wander now?
Thomas, this should not be a surprise. They always close this time of year.
Well, that should be illegal. I should be allowed to enjoy my high-quality Italian ice whenever I want.
I wouldn't call Rita's high quality, especially coming from someone who's mostly Italian.
How dare you speak ill of our beloved campus treasure, Rita's Italian Ice? I should have you tossed in the Rita's Italian Ice freezer filled with the best Italian ice known to man in order to torture for you for disrespecting the world's best Italian ice shop.
Jesus, it's not that deep. Look, I'll talk to my mafia friends to help you get your Italian ice fill.
Okay.
All right.
Speaking of going to mysterious holy sites off campus, Christina, were you aware of the cult trafficking students into the beyond?
A cult? That's terrifying.
I know! Luckily, they aren't malevolent. They're just really creepy.
Well, that's a relief. Remember, kids, don't take candy from strangers in a white van.
Speaking of large groups of people you don't want to talk to, Christina, I'm terrified of white women. Just last week, a fleet of them broke into Forbes and had us kicked out during rehearsal.
And I'm scared of large Christian groups on campus, but neither of these things would be a problem if you did your job.
How are you gonna be mad at me? I got us the stage, that's the job.
Anyways, you're such a wuss. There's no way a white woman could be scary.
Sorry, we have this room reserved.
I reserved this stage months ago!
You have no right to take it from us!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to speak to your manager about that.
Be gone, foul beast!
Never mind. You were right, those women are scary.
Speaking of talking to strangers who annoy you, Yik Yak! Christina, guess who owns Yik Yak?
Cattle.
No, not cat. Yaks aren't even cattle, that's such a weird joke. CNU Tonight officially owns Yik Yak.
Wait, how can we own Yik Yak? We can't even afford a camera.
True, but one of our members, Ben Upton, applied to work for Yik Yak as CNU's campus ambassador and was accepted, and now he's technically the face of CNU Yik Yak.
I'd be lying if I said I wanted to see Ben in a position with any modicum of power, but good for him. What does Ben get to do?
Well, he gets to scroll through Yik Yak, report anything that goes against Yik Yak guidelines, and write shameless plugs into SLS. Behold! The official CNU Yik Yak Instagram!
That's it?
Yeah, that's really it.
And he gets paid to do this.
Allegedly. Ben, why don't you come out here and tell us more?
Okay, so you see, I get rewarded based on like the amount of publicity I do for the Instagram or like the amount of things I post. Although if I get a high enough follower,
Ben, I don't care. But that sounds really fishy.
why does everyone keep saying that?
Moving on to something that hopefully makes more sense.
It's time for a very important PSA. Stop licking psychedelic codes.
Why would people need to be told not to do that? Why would someone do that?
Well, Christina, you see, when humans get an ingenious idea, it can compel us to take action that leads to remarkable innovations. And this is not one of those times. Apparently, the National Park Service has issued a warning not to lick psychedelic toads, which possess a poisonous toxin that acts as a natural hallucinogenic.
So it appears that people have moved on to a new forest-dwelling hallucinogenics. News just in, mushrooms are out, toads are in.
No, you're missing the entire point.
People had better be more careful. They might start the next Toadvid-19.
Too soon, Christina. Anyways, back to the award-winning journalistic excellence you expect. We're going back to the moon!
Yes, NASA's Artemis 1 mission officially achieved liftoff last Wednesday morning after being delayed 4 whole times.
That's right, this mission has been delayed so many times, it was supposed to be in the last SLS, but it wasn't, so we had to push it back to this one, and that's why I'm talking about it now.
Reportedly, the launches were delayed due to issues in the launch vehicle. NASA's newest rocket is a piecemeal combination of parts from old rockets. This rocket's called the... Oh, there's no way.
What is it, Christina? They changed their shitty homunculus rocket and named it after our show?
Yep, that's right. NASA's new rocket is called the SLS.
Alright, well, I'm definitely suing now. We've been doing SLS for almost 8 years. They can't take our name and just use it on some Frankenstein rocket.
Thomas, as much as I despise Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, even I know Frankenstein was the scientist, not the monster.
The scientists are the real monsters here. The science behind the rocket is actually pretty cool, though. For our less physics-inclined audience members, rockets are really heavy. And really heavy things like to stay on the ground. And really, really heavy things really like to stay on the ground. So it's pretty cool that we didn't just get a really, really heavy thing off the ground, but where there's no ground, aka space.
Idea. If we make a bunch of paper airplanes, we can just throw them into outer space. Because, I mean, if light things don't like the ground, it should be easy.
Speaking of drag-induced lift, in funnier news, check out this video. What? Sadly, the child made it out alive, but I'm sure...
That's it! I've had it with this fucking video! Why is it always an SLS?
Because it's funny.
No! I'm not gonna shrug it off, cause it's funny. This is the 4th fucking time this video has been in SLS. Stop making me put this video in SLS.
I don't know what you want me to do. Austin wrote this section.
Austin!
What?
You have to stop this. You can't keep putting the video in the show.
You're not my mom! Don't tell me what to do!
Quit putting my great video in the show! Anyways, in less infuriating news, I was looking into pretending I have enough money to buy a house post-grad, and I think I decided where.
Where's that? And did you just make a reference to the hit 2007 Kanye West album, Graduation?
It's this place in Wyoming called the Ecosystem.
Like Kanye? I knew it.
Yeah, it has everything you need in a home. Grocery stores, PR firms, interior decorating, cloning facilities.
Cloning facilities?
Yeah, I feel like the world could use a few more me's running around. And who doesn't want to clone their dog?
Sure, but isn't Kanye like a huge anti-Semite? And also, aren't there already enough dogs in the world?
There could never be enough dogs in the world. And anyways, could an anti-Semite write my beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy?
I'm getting our word from resident anti-Semitism expert Ben Upton. That yes, he could.
Well, speaking of fantasy, Hogwarts Legacy comes out in 83 days, and a new 45-minute game trailer was just released last weekend.
Wow, you really just knew those numbers off the top of your head.
I'm so ready for this game to come out. I think I'm most excited to be able to explore the world on a rideable hippogriff.
Sounds expensive. Why are you so excited for this game anyways? 83 days is like a long time away.
But I just can't help myself. Thankfully, the game's creators are not working in collaboration with J.K. Rowling outside of their use of the Wizarding World.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Christina. I hate Harry Potter, I hate magic, and I hate J.K. Rowling. Anyone who posts more than once a week on Twitter deserves sepsis.
Well, speaking of people who deserve sepsis, I think it's time to discuss Elon Musk's most helpful contribution to society yet.
And what would that be?
Destroying the most horrifying internet cesspool known as Twitter.com.
Are you sure his greatest contribution isn't like Tesla? Like SpaceX?
Oh, I don't know. Why don't you ask his cobalt mining children?
Alright, we get it, Christina. Outsourcing child labor forces is bad or whatever. You're right, though. It is fun to check in on Twitter.com every once in a while and see it unraveling further and further and further.
Now, any account can be verified as long as you pay $8 a month.
Fun fact, it was actually going to be $20, but Elon Musk changed it so that Stephen King would like him more.
Careful, Thomas. You can also get banned on Twitter now for making fun of the great lord Elon Musk.
Oh, Christina, I'm already banned on Twitter for purposefully spreading dangerous misinformation about drunk driving, the rhombus Earth, and the lizard people living under your skin right now.
Yep, that checks. Thomas!
What?
A new bird just dropped. The Principe scops owl was just one of many new species discovered this year.
Another was the Zhangji giant salamander, which can grow to be 2 meters or 6 God-fearing moon-landing gun-toting feet long.
Another noteworthy find is the sponge crab, which I can't decide if it's creepy or cute.
Just like Matt. Boom!
No! He is adorable, you take that back!
No.
Speaking of crabs, are you aware that there's a great crab migration happening at this very moment?
Well, really? Where?
There's this place in Australia called Christmas Island.
I love Christmas.
Take a look at this video.
Holy shit! That is a lot of crabs.
Yeah. They just keep coming. Wow. Is that a pigeon?
No, there's a crab in the back there.
Oh. Okay. Wait, is that a kid with a fucking rake?
No! Leave it! Stop! Leave the crabs alone!
Leave them alone! Wow. I mean, I guess we just found the world's next budding psychopath.
Yep. Speaking of the world's next budding psychopath, this just in, Andrew Reed Emerson, CNU Tonight's vice president, is a literal war criminal.
Yeah! Whoa! Wait a minute. Who said that you could even say that?
I'm sorry, Andrew. Our sources say that you are officially on America's list of 15 most wanted criminals of the 21st century.
Well, what did I even do? I mean, I did desecrate a grave, verbally said women sucked, drove 80 miles per hour on a 40-mile road,
Andrew.
allegedly ran over someone I was dating at the time, kicked the shit out of a woman when she's down, was responsible for the death of the Queen of England,
Andrew, I don't think you need to say this in a public setting.
was responsible for World War I, responsible for World War II, will be responsible for World War III. I don't think I did anything that crazy, you know?
Dude, we were just gonna say you were wanted for not showering in like 4 days.
Live!
Sure.
Thomas, I'm concerned for the club when we're gone.
I'm not. I'll be gone.
Good point.
Well, that concludes tonight's SLS.
But before we go, we will leave you this inspirational scene from Thomas the Tank Engine.